In this episode, I'm telling you why your diet is wrong.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome everyone to episode 207 of the Daily Mother Swole. Thank you for joining me live on Facebook. And if you're watching on YouTube, listening in on SoundCloud or iTunes, thank you for joining me for episode 207. Today, on this Tuesday, your diet is wrong. So let's talk a little bit about diet, nutrition, and the concepts behind what people think they should be doing rather than what they need to be doing. And there's a disconnect, a very, very strong polarization when it comes to diet and nutrition. Most people are aware that nutrition is extremely important. Most people are aware that they need to eat better or that they need to eat a certain way to get a certain result. And of course, whether or not they do it properly is the big, up and down, the big anomaly or the big variable, whether or not they actually follow through and do what they're supposed to do. And most people don't know if they're actually doing it right. They're kind of shooting in the dark. They're following a diet plan. They're reading up on something, just eating this style. They're eating paleo. They're eating low carb. They're eating high fat. They're just doing something and trying to do the best they can based on what they read online. And that's where I'm coming in right now, just to give you a different lens to look through at this at the situation, because it is very important. Because it is very important that you're eating a certain way relative to how you're training. There are very many different ways. I'm not going to be talking about whether or not being a vegan is bad, or being a vegetarian is bad, or eating fish that's being poisoned is bad, or eating grain-fed beef is bad. I want to talk about the general concepts behind nutrition. And of course, in my premium group, we go more in-depth with nutrition and program design. When it comes to actual diet and nutrition, nutrition is what you do, what you feed your body, what you put inside that is going to fuel your body for the activities that it's going to do. Let me repeat that. You are fueling your body. You are giving your body proper fuel. A lot of times, it's very effective to create that comparison of the human body with a car. You give the car fuel, you need to give the car the right fuel, the right octane, the right amount of gas, and you can drive. Okay, this is where it actually does not apply with human beings, because you can't just give a Jeep unleaded or a Toyota Corolla unleaded and they'll both drive the same, because that's really what the situation is. You'll have the same gas for two different types of cars, but they both do two completely different tasks. Now, your footwear isn't going to be as important as what you're putting in your mouth for energy, right? So what are you putting in your body? If you're eating too little amount of carbs, that's going to be a problem if you're doing a lot of strength training. If you're not consuming enough fat or enough carbohydrate, it's going to be a problem if you're doing long endurance training, if you don't carb load, if you don't saturate your body with slower, longer burning energy. If you're doing an extremely low carb diet and you're trying to do high intensity interval training, you are not giving your body the right fuel. You're eating food and you might have a full stomach when you're done, but you're not giving your body the right tools that it needs to contract the muscles, to keep hormone balance proper, to recover between sets, to recover between workouts. So you have this pulling in different directions, and let me explain why this gets pulled in different directions, and more of my material is going to go into this moving forward this week. If you're trying to lose weight, if you want to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, in general, less calories is what you want. You want to eat less fuel than you are burning and utilizing, because you are going to start tapping into your own body fat stores and what you have extra in your body. So calories do count. Any of that mindset where, oh, it doesn't matter how much you eat. It does. Of course it matters how much you eat. If you're eating extra fuel, your body is going to put it somewhere. Your body's going to put it somewhere. There are certain styles of eating where you can be a little bit more lenient with the calorie counting. You have to be down to the actual, 5 or 10 calorie window. But how much you eat is going to play a role in weight gain or weight loss. That's science. When you are eating less calories, a lot of people do high-intensity training, CrossFit classes, group exercise classes, even resistance training. They want to lose weight. And there is this fear of eating things like bread and pasta and any types of sugar and carbs. Most of that stuff that you're avoiding, that's a good thing. You want to avoid a lot of those things because they can cause inflammation, because they retain water, because they don't digest as well as other carbohydrates. Without getting too much into that detail here, most people cut carbs. They go more high protein, more high fat, and they continue with heavy weight training or higher intensity activity. And that's dangerous. Sugar and carbohydrates is your body's readily available source of energy. That's what your body prefers. When I say preferred source, that's like saying, oh, a car could run off alcohol for a couple miles, but it's not its preferred source. Just because your body can create energy and create glucose from protein, your body can actually create sugar from protein. It's called gluconeogenesis. Your body can actually create glucose molecules from amino acids. Your body is always doing this. 5 or 10% of your total energy creation comes from your body turning protein, literally protein, into sugar, into usable form of energy. This is a pain in the ass for the body. It does it all the time, but it does it at a very low level, and it's one of those survival mechanisms. In case there's no fat and there's no carbs, your body can survive. Your body can survive this type of situation when you're not getting the right source. But carbohydrates is what your body wants. When you're doing high-intensity, explosive activity, weight training, I always talk about resistance training because it's super important for males and for females. You want to increase bone density. You want to increase your metabolism. You want to increase your functioning. You don't want weak legs. You don't want weak legs. You got to squat. You got to do leg pressing. Whatever floats your boat, you got to strengthen your legs because you're not going to walk on your hands. So you got to stay mobile. And weight training ensures that you're going to have bone density, better for mineral storage. You're going to have stronger bones, stronger connective tissue, less risk of injury, better proprioception, better neural activation of musculature. It's going to help with memory and blood flow to the brain. Resistance training is fantastic. It's fantastic. The problem is you need to recover these muscles. When you're working out in the gym, your body is breaking down muscle tissue. When you're breaking down muscle tissue, you are damaging. You're causing micro trauma. This is called micro trauma. You are in the gym. You're not building shit when you're in the gym. You're not building anything when you're in the gym. You are destroying your body. You are tearing your body. You are ripping your muscle fibers up. Little micro tears. You're damaging. That's why you're sore. That's why you get stiff. And that's why doing too much can be detrimental because macro trauma is not good. Macro trauma is an injury. It's a torn muscle. It's a car accident. You don't want macro trauma. You want micro trauma. You want this. But you want to give your body enough fuel and the ability to repair afterwards. Got my bulletproof coffee. Sipalicious. Cheers. You want your body to be able to recover. You want your body to be able to repair. If your body is unable to repair, you are going to be at a disadvantage for the next future workout. You put yourself at a higher risk for injury. Let's take a couple questions before I wrap this up on the back end. Why have a Ferrari and put in regular gas? Bro, that is a amazing analogy, and I use this a lot. I use this a lot for the tire analogy. Why have a Ferrari and put in regular gas? True, absolutely. Also, when people buy fancy cars, they spend all their money on their car and the paint job, and they spend all this money. They get $5,000 rims, and then they put on $100 tires. Think about that. People do this all the time. They buy these really expensive rims that are out of their budget, and then they don't want to spend money on tires because they want the chrome or the flashy rims, and they get $100 tires. The only part of your car that touches the ground is the tire. The only part. You could have a $500,000 car, you could have $10,000 rims, and you could have $100 tires, and you go right off the fucking road because you don't have any grip. The only part of the car that touches the ground is the tire. So why are you going to cheap out on the gas, or why are you going to cheap out on the tire? But people do that. It's the same concept. It's a really good analogy. Learning proper nutrition changed the game for me. Michael James. Absolutely. when people throw out numbers like, oh, nutrition is 80% of the game, that's just BS, like just like the random number. It's going to be different for everyone. For some people, nutrition might not be quite as important. Not that it's not important, but if they're trying to get abs, you're trying to gain weight. Some people have an easier time with nutrition than others. We know this. So throwing a number, an exact percentage, that varies per person. That's very subjective, but it's absolutely super important. And I'm more than willing to, in terms of weight gain and weight loss, nutrition is super important. But I mean, of course, if you want to look big and muscular, weight training is pretty much everything, because if you don't lift, you're not going to get big even if you eat properly. But yeah, they go hand in hand. It's all about nutrition, and to think of it as a diet, you're already losing. I like that. I like that. It's a lifestyle, not a diet. Yeah, the mentality behind diet. The word diet kind of means crash, like you're eating a certain way, you're eating a little bit, or you're eating for a short-term goal. And that's another conversation all in itself. When you eat, the way you're eating, don't think of it as a diet. Think of it as this. If you think of it as a diet, you're going to do things that are extreme. You're going to do things that are less permanent. You're going to take it less seriously. If you think of it as a lifestyle, you are changing your brain pattern. You're changing your eating habits, and that's for the long haul. So you have to think of it as long term. So absolutely nutrition, not diet. Totally down for that. What do you eat for your carbs? Well, let me finish this up, and I'll kind of touch on that in the same. If you're trying to lose weight, you're eating less calories, and people that are eating less carbohydrates and trying to do higher intensity training, trying to do resistance training, inefficient, it's just not going to be a successful outcome. Lightheadedness, dizziness, improper repair, kind of touched upon that. Also with gaining weight, I just want to mention this point first. Gaining weight, people that are not eating enough, or they're eating until they're full. If you want to gain weight, look, I was never a huge guy, but I had to eat a lot to gain weight. You have to eat when you're full. You have to eat the right things when you're full. You have to eat when you don't feel like you're hungry. You should drink water when you're not thirsty. You should eat food when you're not hungry, when you're trying to gain weight. Most people eat until they're full, and they don't realize how much they really have to eat, and they don't eat sufficient amounts in order to gain size, or they eat too much junk. Overeat, they gain a lot of body fat. So there's that fine balance. But you need to eat for your goal. But don't forget, it's not just eating for your goal. I want to lose weight, eat less. I want to gain weight, eat more. It's not just eating for your goal. A lot of people eat less because they want to lose weight. A lot of people eat more because they want to gain weight. But then their food does not match the training that they're doing. Just eating less is not going to be sufficient if you're doing higher intensity training or you're doing a lot of weight training. You got to eat not too much less. Really, it's not as much less as you think it is, but you have to eat carbs. You have to eat things that are going to fuel your body. I prefer sweet potatoes, white rice. I do like my gluten-free oatmeal, and I say I don't eat gluten-free oatmeal because of any disease or illnesses or anything of that sort. I don't have celiacs or I'm hardcore against gluten. In that stance, I just like the taste of it. I like the way it digests, but I just like the way this brand feels for me. It's Red Mill's gluten-free oatmeal. And those of you, and I want to make this point, my premium group, in closing here, because I'm about to go take care of some other business, my Facebook premium group, I will be promoting that a lot more, and some of you have heard me say this in the past if you're watching my other YouTube videos. My premium group, Facebook premium group, it's a private group right here on Facebook. Swolenormous Premium for this week only. For this week only through Friday, today is Tuesday, it will continue to be $4.99 a month. You sign up on my website, Swolenormous.com, $4.99 a month. We do weekly accountability meetings. We do weekly Q&A sessions. We do weekly nutritional and design programming videos. And of course, that's the best place to contact me. That's the best place where people have personal, immediate concerns, post up questions, post up comments about the program, and we have a running dialogue, a running tight-knit community in Premium. So after this week, the price of Premium will be going up, but until through Friday at midnight, it will still continue to be $4.99. And for anyone that joins up until Friday, it will maintain that for as long as you're a member of Premium. So Swolenormous Premium, absolutely. So if you're interested in signing up and checking that out, you go to my website, Swolenormous.com, and that will take you through. You click on Get Premium, and you sign up through PayPal, and you will follow the instructions. You fill out the application after you sign up. That gives me a little bit of background of what your goals are, what your workout history is, what you're trying to accomplish. And then when you enter the group, you'll see the instructions on the pinned post where you can download the ebook and introduce yourself and get started in the group and start accessing all those exclusive videos for premium members. So Swolenormous.com to access premium through Friday at midnight. You still get that $4.99 amazing deal option. I've been running that for the intro period, and I actually stopped promoting it for a while because I have been doing some restructuring behind the scenes for what I want to do with premium, but now it's going up a notch. So make sure you jump on that this week. And any other questions, I'll say for a few moments after on Facebook Live. Thank you for joining me on Facebook Live. Thank you for joining me on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Tomorrow for episode 208 of the Daily Swole. And remember, check out my spotlight video here on Facebook if you haven't checked it out. Make sure you give it a look. If you like it, click like. If you really like it and you love it, share it, get the word out. And also you can follow me on Instagram and Snapchat for more behind the scenes and more information on getting absolutely freaking swole. Thanks for joining me for episode 207. See you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time for more of the same, more freaking gains. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Later.